All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We are jumping right into the action to look at the FIFA World Cup 2026 Group D opener between co-hosts USA and Paraguay. Today we're going to break down the commentary, the tactical flow, and exactly how this opening match was won and lost. There's this incredible quote from the broadcast that really just hits the nail on the head. The world of football has come to the nation of soccer. Talk about perfectly capturing the sheer scale of this event. The USA isn't just playing, they're co-hosting the 2026 World Cup. So the stakes? They literally couldn't be higher for the home team to come out and make an immediate, definitive statement on the global stage.
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the Group D opener. Moving right along to Section 2, stretching the backline. So, right from the opening kickoff, the commentary points out that the USA had a very specific game plan, stretching that Paraguay backline thin. Think of it kind of like pulling a rubber band. We saw them execute this perfectly through these wide, super deliberate runs, like the one from Robinson. By doing that, they're pulling defenders totally out of position and creating these highly dangerous gaps in the attacking third. It wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate tactical choice that absolutely dictated the pace of those opening minutes. And man, did that strategy pay off fast. The sequence of events was like a roller coaster. First, this intense U.S. pressure actually forces an own goal off Kamari Badia, handing the USA an early lead. Then the pendulum swings back a bit. McKenna finds the back of the net, but heartbreak. The assistant's flag goes right up, wiping the goal away. But here's the thing. The USA doesn't let up for a second. In our third crucial moment, they employ that exact same stretching strategy down the right side, and it directly leads to Farron Balogun scoring to make it 2-0. As the commentary emphasized, no one was going to take that goal away from him. Just an absolute masterclass in sticking to a strategy that works. Which brings us to Section 3, Paraguay under huge pressure. Now, to really appreciate the tension building in this match, we have to look back at Paraguay's totally grueling path just to get here. First off, they faced a massive 2-0 deficit against Uruguay. Then they had to dig incredibly deep, coming from behind not once, but twice to duel at extreme altitude against Bolivia. So make no mistake, these are battle-tested players. But against the USA, they were under massive, sustained pressure. That relentless tactical stretching by the US we just talked about was testing even this incredibly hardened squad to its absolute limits. And eventually, that pressure just boils over. Right when Paraguay desperately needs a moment to catch their breath, Farron Balogun strikes again. He follows up with what the broadcast rightly called a sensational and convincing finish. The pace of the USA attack was just relentless, really piling on the agony for a Paraguayan side that was desperately trying to find any sort of foothold in the match. But hey, Paraguay wasn't completely done. Showing that exact resilience we just highlighted, Almiron manages to carve out a brilliant opportunity, setting up the substitute Mario for the celebration. It was a crucial lifeline for them, a moment of really sharp execution that proved Paraguay could still strike back, even when buried under an absolute mountain of pressure. Let's move into Section 4, the final blows. 4. That is the magic number that officially shut the door on Paraguay. The USA was absolutely not going to let that momentum shift last for long. As the match reaches its climax, Gio Reyna steps up. The commentary is just electric in this moment. Oh yes, Gio Reyna, as he secures that fourth goal, bringing the whole match to a resounding conclusion. That number 4 perfectly represents the sheer offensive output of the US and how well they capitalized on those early tactical stretches we analyzed. Finally, Section 5. Takeaways from the match. When the dust settled, the final story was undeniable. USA 4, Paraguay 1. All those micro moments we tracked, Robinson's runs to open up the space, that wide stretch down the right side, Balogun's incredible finishes, and Reyna's final blow, they all stacked up to create a stark visual of sheer dominance. While Paraguay definitely showed fight with Mario's goal, the USA's tactical execution was just overwhelming from the opening whistle all the way to the referee's final signal. So this leaves us with one massive question to chew on. With such a decisive 4-1 opening victory, what does this huge wave of momentum actually mean for the USA as co-hosts moving forward in this World Cup? They've clearly proven they can execute complex tactics, stretch defenses thin, and finish convincingly on the world's absolute biggest stage. If this opener is any indication of what's to come, the rest of this tournament is going to be absolutely fascinating. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. I'll catch you next time.